Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Aaron, here from The Better Traders, representing Coin Bureau Trading here at SuiRL, Sui in real life. And joining me today, you've probably seen his face before. This is Kyle Chasse. What's up, man?
What's up? Hey guys.
You're looking at me funny. Did I say the last name wrong?
Chasse.
Chasse? I did. Let's just the whole thing again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just run with it. Just run with it. It's okay. Everyone, it's okay. It's not just you. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what are your roots then for Chasse? You're French?
The funny thing is that's my dad's last name, and he's not French at all. So, and my mom is Manasson, and I actually have both last names, but that is French, and she's French, obviously. But how my dad got the last name, I don't know. No idea.
That's okay.
He's like as American as they get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He has like a T-bird and like barbecues on the weekends and stuff?
He's American, yeah.
Awesome. So, first off, if people don't know who you are, why don't you first share who you are, what you do, your channel, all your links, all that fun stuff.
And my name is Kyle. Hello, everybody. I've got a YouTube channel. You should watch it. Subscribe if you're not already. I educate people about the macro environment. So I think it's really important being in the space for 12 years in crypto, actually 13 now. I got into Bitcoin in 2012. And, you know, I was a very early adopter of Bitcoin. But looking back, if I had studied macroeconomics, studied market cycles, like I would have held a lot more Bitcoin than I've given up today. And I think one of the things about crypto is capital preservation. It's like, it's not, in a bull run, it's so easy for us to all look at our portfolio at the top of the bull run and think about how rich we all are.
Yeah.
But then it's really about keeping it. It's like, it's always about like, we should measure our wealth from trough to trough, not peak to peak, And so I think that, what I really wanted to do is understand how do these cycles work? What are these driving factors behind bull markets and bear markets? And then I'll learn those things and share them with my audience. And so I've built in the space. I've got a couple projects myself, a VC fund, and then the YouTube channel.
So you're not really that busy.
No.
I mean, you got lots of free time on
your vacation. We're in Bali.
Exactly. Speaking of Bali, being here in Bali, why are we here? For SuiRL. So I'm trader. Like I don't really do deep dives into projects. So like this morning's session, talking about a lot of stuff, like technical, fundamental stuff. It's like, good job, guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking at price.
Right.
But like, how do you approach cryptocurrency? Because so much of it is smoke and mirrors. A lot of it is vaporware. Yeah. I mean, we heard a lot of great stuff today, but like, how do you assess projects like Sui in terms of approaching it from an investor standpoint?
Yeah. So for me, like my trading is much more about like high conviction plays for the bulk majority of my portfolio. So my liquid portfolio, I would say like 80 to 85% is in high conviction plays where I learn the fundamentals. I look at things that we talked about, like you just talked about this morning. Where is Sui headed in the next 10 years? Do I want to hold a large amount of my net worth in this project? So I think it's going to be a good bet long term.
Yeah.
Like that's what I did with Bitcoin back in 2013. I learned about 2012 and 2013. I sold my company and I put all of that money into Bitcoin and I've held it since then because I had a high conviction back then that it was going to be very prominent one day. And that was a good bet, right? It turned out to be a good bet, good long-term hold. So I think that for me, moving with size and patience and having conviction. And that's why it's important when you kind of trade like I do, to really understand fundamentally where this project's headed. And then you're less bothered by short-term price.
So as a long-term investor, which is what you are, how do you handle sudden market crashes? Because me as a trader, it's like buy the dip, sell the bounce, done. Like keep a little bit if I want, or I can just sell the bag and then I have my profits. But like, how do you handle that psychologically speaking?
Well, the interesting thing is that, for me, it became a little bit more just like second nature because, let's say in 2013, I had like well over 1,000 Bitcoin or more, right? Like well over that amount. And so I was able to, just kind of live off of that no matter what the price was. And I didn't really think about, trying to kind of preserve it or try to optimize it so I'm so used to like the volatility. I'm unbothered by it.
Yeah.
And I think that now it's like, if I could just keep the Bitcoin that I have, as my kind of like long-term pot, then I'll be fine. And so short-term price really, it doesn't bother me. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
And it helps me like sleep at night. I've tried to be a short-term trader before and like, I don't like to be glued to my phone. And I know that like, that's not how you have to be trading, right? Because you could trade during certain hours, you could trade, but for me, like, I also understand that to be good at that, you should really become a master at it, right? You should be expert. And like, I don't think anyone should trade, short term without having like a lot of, education around it and a lot of hours put into it. Right?
So yes. How did you get to the point though, where like we just recently had like a 10% pullback or more on many altcoins, like even like with Sui, had a pretty nasty pullback.
Yeah.
So how did you get to the point now where it's like, nah, it's down 20, 30%, whatever. Like, I mean, you've been in the market for a long time,
right?
But was there like a turning point where things just kind of, you released that tension or like that worry about your positions and the net value?
So I think that like, because I believe like using this current pullback as an example, I think that where we are right now in the market is this is a pullback in a bull market. Right. And so I don't think that this is the cycle top. And so because I'm not trading with leverage, these pullbacks don't bother me. And I'm not going to try to sell every pump and buy every dip. Like I'm just not going to do that. And so for me, this is like, okay, this is another pullback in the grand scheme of the chart up and to the right, at least for the next couple months. Right. But I think what I'm trying to do differently this cycle than previous ones is I am trying to, but more strategically, maybe sell the top if I can. And that's what I'm more paying attention to is like, I'm looking at all the macroeconomic kind of factors, geopolitical, money supply, business cycle, like, and I'm looking at these things and saying, okay, when should I take out like 75% of my stack into stable coins and then just sit there patiently. And even if the market goes up, not be bothered that I took profits.
Yeah.
Because I believe that like we're near the top at that point. That's what I'm trying to get down right now.
So what changed in your conviction to now? I mean, after holding for 12 years, basically, what's changed to the point where you're like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to like start scaling out some of a lot of your position. That's what I do every single market top though. I scale out.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what's changed for you.
What's been different is that, like my lifestyle changes depending on like where my liquid net worth is, and during bear markets, it's like I have to be more cognizant of budget and I have to do these other things. And so like, but I can think back to like the cycle tops from every like 2017, 2021, even Q4 last year.
Yeah.
When my net worth was double what it is today, but just about.
Yeah.
And just thinking like, well, if I had taken everything out then, or a majority of it, whatever, like I would have been so much better. And like, and not even thinking about trying to buy back lower, but now that you do know that how the cycles work, buy back lower, and then you can just double. I measure my wealth and essentially, I want my reserve to be Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so I want to add to my Bitcoin stack. Well, how else can you do that unless you try to start strategically timing a little bit better,
Yeah.
Because I don't earn like a bunch of like, I don't have a huge, I wish one thing I need to work on is my passive income, but I don't have a huge passive income stream, right? So I can't really accumulate a bunch more Bitcoin unless I start paying more attention and trying to do a little bit more trading.
So if you had to give one piece of advice to people that are looking for a less hands-on approach to trading, but more of your style where it's like longer term investing, what would be like the best piece of advice you could give someone like that?
Well,
yeah, easy question. I mean, just like rolls off the tongue.
So I measure my wealth in Bitcoin. And so one of the things that I do right now is I have a really cool kind of trading partner that so far, in like the 9 months I've been using them, has just done a phenomenal job at adding to my Bitcoin stack. Right. And so that's the trading that I do. It's done through an algorithm, through a trading kind of bot service. And the way that it works is it does Bitcoin inverse perpetual. So it uses Bitcoin's collateral with leverage, and when it wins a trade, it's just stacks more Bitcoin for me. So I don't really care what the dollar value profit is on the trades. I just care that it stacks more and accumulate more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I do that. But I think that that we've seen clear indicators of every cycle top before, like Pi cycle top, MVRV, like these different kind of things, stablecoin growth versus like a contraction or contraction or extraction or expansion. Yeah. Like these things you should be paying attention to. So these are things that we watch all the time and we talk about weekly on my YouTube channel. And I just think that like finding someone who's now essentially kind of almost obsessed at finding that, and we have a really great research team who looks around that. I think like joining us in that journey is probably a good thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, where can people find you?
My name is Kyle, Chasse. So just look for me.
Chasse.
Exactly. Look for me on X or on YouTube under that name and you'll find me.
Awesome. Guys, make sure follow, like, subscribe, and subscribe to this channel as well. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.